First thing is that it is a clear shown blatant misuse of CBI and ED by the central government, so-called central government run by BJP. The thing is that it is very clear that there are no evidences against Mr. Sanjay Raut in this matter. Now all the evidences which the ED says or is having or the investigation is going on, but this is a clear misuse of ED and CBI and nothing else.
Okay, but this there are details, and I'm just telling you what we know so far about this person called Praveen Raut. We are told that Praveen Raut had some direct dealings with the family members of Sanjay Raut. What's your response to that?
See, the person is behind bar. I think that report has come that he is behind bar. Any statement or any kind of something has come down in the investigation process or against Mr. Sanjay Raut or his family. There is nothing. Nothing on record. It is just a matter of investigation, and he is a sitting MP. He is attending Rajya Sabha. He cannot attend the Rajya Sabha due to this kind of gesture of ED-CBI. These things are going on against the opposition, and even if you open your mouth in the parliament or anywhere against the central government, you are going to face ED and CBI and nothing else.
Okay, Tuhin Sena joining us on the BJP. Stay with me, Chandrasekhar. Tuhin, it's a 14-year-old case, we are told. It's a 14-year-old case in which he's been called by the Enforcement Directorate. We are being told there are details that are emerging of his family members allegedly, getting some sort of benefits. But why did it take 14 years?
Well, you cannot dictate the working of the ED. It took 25 years for Lalu Yadav to eventually be convicted. So if ED has become active, that needs to be appreciated. If you question the timing, if you ask me, it would have suited me if he was arrested 6 months ago. Today is non-existent. So we don't dictate the timing of the ED. The ED follows its own process. But the very fact that after 9 hours of investigation, he was not able to come up with convincing answers shows.
आज सब जीते हो आमदार ठाकरे नाम पे जीते ओनली ठाकरे नाम आमची निष्ठा हमारी निष्ठा ठाकरे से और किसी पार्टी से नहीं और किसी नाम से नहीं।
क्या आपको लगता है कि अरेस्ट करने के हिसाब से ये पूरी राजनीतिक साजिश के तहत संजय राउत को
जो ईडी का समन्स आया था उसमें लिखा था पत्राचाल की कार्रवाई। उनको पूछो कौन सा पेपर मिला पत्राचाल का?
मोबाइल नीचे करेगा भाई।
सिंगल डॉक्यूमेंट पत्राचाल का मिला नहीं। और जो डॉक्यूमेंट लेके गए वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स राउत साहब ने इनकम टैक्स और राज्यसभा के जब फॉर्म भरा जाता है सब सबमिट किया हुआ है। अभी देखो ऊपर गलत कार्रवाई करेंगे, झूठे डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाएंगे, जबरदस्ती से किसी से साइन लिया होगा, इस पे कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। फिर भी उनको लगेगा कि संजय राउत अभी झुकेगा, सवाल ही नहीं आता झुकने का। फांसी भी दो तो भी शिवसेना नहीं छोड़ेंगे, उद्धव ठाकरे को नहीं छोड़ेंगे। 12 साहब के सैनिक है। जय महाराष्ट्र।
Yeah. The thing is, Tuhin Sena and Chandrasekhar, I asked some straight questions to Mr. Sanjay Raut while he was being brought into this Enforcement Directorate office. He was brought here, and there is a lot of drama also happening here. You'll see that his brother is trying to speak to the media every now and then. And apart from that, there is this, appearance that he makes every now and then. We are told from, there is a screech suddenly from the top, and we are told that it's Sanjay Raut making an appearance at one of the floors, either the first floor, second floor, third floor. But every time he gets a reprieve, he tries to make this appearance. We're getting a live feed. If you can get it on, you can see here, it's his brother speaking again.
इनकम टैक्स में सबमिट किया है।
आता पुलिस है जो हटवे लावून टाका चला बाजूला चला हो साहेब जरा पाणी आहे साहेब हो साहेब जरा पाणी आहे हटवे लावा पुलिस आता बोलू हो साहेब जरा पाणी आहे
Yeah, let's play out the sequence for you right now. The sequence when I asked Sanjay Raut the questions on there are questions on on whether he had taken, or rather anybody from his family had taken money from Praveen Raut. I asked him straight questions when he was entering the Enforcement Directorate office. Let me play out that sequence for you right now. Yeah. And I can't really count the number of times we've been reporting from outside the Enforcement Directorate office here in Mumbai. You will see that, from across all the entrance and the exit points, you'll see on the left side and the right side here, you'll see a huge police, not just a police deployment, also, CFPF, the CFPF forces who are here. And behind me is Alisha, one of the topmost reporters here in Mumbai. Alisha has been tracking not just the case of Sanjay Raut, but this entire case for many, many years now. And she's tracked Nawab Malik, she's tracked Anil Deshmukh, and she's tracked all these cases when these leaders are brought to Enforcement Directorate, these leaders are brought to NCB. By the way, they're just a few blocks away. Let me go across to Alisha, joining us live on the broadcast right now. Alisha, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the scam? Because Sanjay Raut and his entire, group of supporters, not many of them, when I was reporting here, about a few of them, about 10, 15 of them came here in a car, maybe try to put up a show. But Alisha, take it away. Why don't you tell us about the facts of the case and what proof is available with the Enforcement Directorate and the agencies probing the case?
Well, Niranjan, we know that documents has already been seized by Enforcement Directorate while they were searching. There were 9 hours of searching that was conducted at the Sanjay Raut residence. While I'll ask my video journalist to show the visuals, what is happening around, because heavy police deployment that has been placed here, and also CRPF, they have been deployed, just looking into the, seriousness of the matter. While talking about the fact, we know that it is a case of, 2008. In 2008, where the MMRD, the Mahada, were given a complaint. The Mahada officials gave a complaint to the Economic Offence Wing of Mumbai Police. After which an FIR that was registered against Rakesh and Sarang Vadhavan, and also an official, that is also Praveen Raut, who was Guru Ashish Construction Private Limited. But it is a matter of ₹1 crore, because what has really transpired during the course of investigation, that the matter is of 1,034 crore. After which ED entered it and registered a case and started looking into the matter. They have started the investigation. Now, what has really transpired, as I earlier mentioned, that while investigating, ED has arrested Praveen Raut, and during those investigations, they have come to know about the trial, because at the initial stage, there was a contract that was made. That was an agreement that was made between Mahada, Guru Ashish Construction Private Limited, where Guru Ashish Construction Private Limited took a money from HDIL, that was 100 crore, promising that they are going to make a flat. The flats will be given to around 672 tenants, where the Patra Chawl will go under the redevelopment. But that never happened. And with that money, that was diverted to, Praveen Raut, a close associate, and also some family members of Sanjay Raut. Now, why Sanjay Raut has been looking? Because 83 lakh rupees that was given to Sanjay Raut's wife, that is Varsha Raut, and that money has been used to buy the plot in Dadar, which today ED was even mentioned, and they were present in that location, and the several searches that was conducted today at Sanjay Raut residence, and which is why even Sanjay Raut has already questioned by Enforcement Directorate. We know there were in total 4 summons summons were given. At first summons, Sanjay Raut did not appear, clearly stating that there is a political crisis across Maharashtra, and being a senior leader of Shiv Sena, he has to be there and could not be able to appear before the agency. But the time Eknath Shinde became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, took oath as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Sanjay Raut itself has tweeted clearly stating that he is going to appear before the ED, and he was grilled for around 10 hours and then let go. But there are some more of the other questions that need to be answered, which is why the fresh summon that was issued to Sanjay Raut. But again, an assumption letter, an assumption application that was given to ED by his legal team, stating that he could not be able to appear before the ED, he could not join the probe just because it's a parliament session that has been ongoing, and he has to even campaign for the vice president election. But again, and he asked for that they could be, they can call him after 7th of August. But there comes the fourth summons that was issued by ED asking him to appear on 27 July. But again, an assumption letter made. But the time ED got to know that Sanjay Raut is in Mumbai at his residence, there comes a time where the 12 members, 12 ED officials who were present at the Sanjay Raut residence, they were...
Alisha.
Yes.
It's like, Alisha, I just want to ask you a question, irrespective of how many times, there was this fantastic sequence just before you came in, Alisha. There was a sequence when, Sanjay Raut came in and he was brought in from here. If my VJ Mukut can just show you, he was brought in from here, from that gate that you'll see on the other side. He was brought in there. It's now barricaded completely. He was brought in from there. And, it's fantastic. He's someone he's a media creation. He's a complete media creation. And he kept looking towards the side of the, he was on the left side of the car and I was on the right side. And then he kept waving towards the left side because perhaps his favorite media was there. And he kept waving at the media, trying to make himself look like a martyr. And I kept asking him the questions. I kept asking him the question whether he or his family or anybody got money, kickbacks, benefits out of this person called Praveen Raut. I kept asking him again and again and again, and he never once answered that question. And whoever was sitting on the right side of the car tried to sort of keep pushing the mic away, trying to sort of deflect. And then he just entered, and I tried my best to sort of push my mic into the frame. And he never once answered that question, never once. But once he entered this barricade here, once he entered the barricade, Alisha, let me tell you, he spoke to the media at least 4 times. He went to the other side, he came back this side, then he went to the middle, he came back, he ran, like he did like 4 sprints, Alisha. He did 4 sprints, believe it or not. He ran to that side, ran to this side, ran to the other side, ran back to this side, and then went back in before the enforcement director took him in. He's the media creation. I mean, he's fantastic. I mean, this guy, he's being investigated. And he did this run, left to right, 4 sprints. But the fact is, the charges are very, very serious because we saw some very young officers. I don't know whether we have the pictures cut of these young officers who came to the ED office a few minutes back. They came in an SUV and they had a lot of documents in their hand, and they went inside with the documents. And this is also backing up what Shravan, my colleague, said earlier, that the ED had access to a few documents and they were bringing these documents, and there is enough proof against Sanjay Raut, is what we heard. Now, regarding the proof, regarding the documents, regarding the evidence, what do we know about specifically his family / his aide's role in the case, Alisha?
Well, yes, Niranjan, in all this case, because Praveen Raut, who took 100 crore from HDI, clearly mentioning that this money has been taken for the people, the poor people who were expecting a house, a flat in Patra, Chawl, people, they were like expecting in Goregaon, but that has never happened. But apart from this, what we have been told that 83 lakhs that was given to Varsha Raut, who is a wife of Sanjay Raut, and that is the money which comes under the radar, and it's a proceed, the money which was the proceed of crime that was used to buy a flat in Dadar. So that comes Varsha Raut and of course the Sanjay Raut family, because there could be a politically motivated, because we know Sanjay Raut has been a very senior leader of Shiv Sena, and he's been itself has always portrayed himself as a very strong, powerful person. But that is something the Praveen Raut could have taken advantage of, and that is where the information and the evidence that has come forward, the enforcement director, and which is why today Sanjay Raut is in the ED office. He's been questioned. This is not the first time. But this is the second time that has been called. So of course there are some of the questions that need to be answered by Sanjay Raut, because even if he was grilled for 10 hours, there are more questions that he need to be answered. And why? That is why the raids has been conducted. The time ED got to know that he is at his residence in Bandu, they reached at the morning 7 and started conducting searches. After conducting searches for 9 hours, ED took Sanjay Raut himself to the ED office, and now he's been grilled. Of course, there were the documents. We saw there was a piles of documents that has been brought in the ED office. So now those officials are going to grill him with those documents as well, because it's very important to know that it's been 14 years, but even after that, Sanjay Raut has all those documents that has been related to the case, and that has been now recovered, that has been seized by ED. Now he will be confronted with the documents to ask about, because it's not only about the 83 lakhs or the flat that has been purchased in Dadar, but also there are many other plots, there are other land as well, which is in Alibag in the name of Varsha Raut and Sapna Patkar, is what we have been told. So that is also under the scanner. Many of the assets we know in the month of April, around 11.15 crore property assets that has already been seized by, that has already been attached by Enforcement Directorate. But many more questions that has need to be answered by Sanjay Raut, and which is why after conducting 9 hours of searches, he has been brought to the ED office and the grilling has already been started. Yes.
Yeah. Just to give you a little bit of a background on what different political parties have been saying on this case, Sanjay Raut has been such a controversial figure since 2019 from a reporter's perspective. Just to tell all our viewers, Alicia, about Sanjay Raut, the extremely controversial character, political leader, now a parliamentarian. He's extremely controversial in the sense that at one point he positioned himself as the man who made the alliance happen between Shiv Sena and NCP and the Congress party. He took credit single-handedly for sort of breaking that alliance traditionally between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. So even now, when most of the Shiv Sena leaders have sort of left Uddhav Thackeray and they've joined Eknath Shinde, he still, of course, positions himself as the only leader who's with Uddhav Thackeray. And many people from the Shinde faction often tell the media, and in fact every news conference that they address, they are asked that one question, that Sanjay Raut has said something this morning. Because Sanjay Raut is a media creation. I mean, every morning he gives a soundbite, he says something controversial, something sort of headline grabbing, because he himself is a journalist. Let's not forget that. He was, I don't know whether he still is, Alicia, you'll be able to tell me that. He was the executive editor of Samna. I'm not sure he still is, because if I'm not wrong, Rashmi Thackeray, who's the wife of Uddhav Thackeray, I think is now the in charge of Samna editorial operations. But he's someone who loves media attention, he knows exactly what to do to get that media headline, to get that reaction, to get that response. And for the longest time he's sort of taken credit for the alliance breaking apart, and now when most of the leaders have jumped to the Shinde faction or have deserted Uddhav Thackeray, he takes credit single-handedly for whatever's left behind. And he continues to say that, he continues to play martyr. But I think we're getting in some more responses. Let me go across to Akash Pandurang, a BJP MLA, joining us on the phone line. Akash Pandurang, thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. This entire act, this martyr act that Sanjay Raut is, putting up at the Enforcement Directorate office behind me. Do you want to respond to that? Are the facts stronger than this, sort of card that they're trying to play now?
Actually, what is going is according to the law, and he must face it strongly if he's very clean. Now he is raising his Bhagwa Dupatta and all. This is all natak. जो जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, and he has to face it. If he is clean, then no need to worry.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you there. But what are the facts of the case? Because a lot of people are also asking, this martyr act that he's doing, right? What are the facts of the case? In the middle of the thing is, he is trying to position himself as a martyr. His supporters are trying to, very few of them trying to position him as a martyr. What are the facts of the case and how serious are these charges?
No, actually, the charges are very serious. and if he is clean, there is no need to worry. But now the things are like they are making a picture that they are very kind and they had not done anything wrong. Then they must prove themselves that they are right.
Yeah, let's see where the story goes. Thank you for that, Pandurang. And we also have that sequence where I try to ask him a few questions, very specific questions on the facts of the case. I asked him whether he or his family got any benefits out of this entire Patra Chawl land scam. He refused to even look at our cameras. He was perhaps waving towards the friendly media. Here's what happened earlier when I tried to question Sanjay Raut and what his brother said after that.
मेरे खिलाफ जिस प्रकार से झूठी कार्रवाई, झूठे कागज, झूठे एविडेंस लोगों को मार मार कर पीट कर बनाए जा रहे हैं, ये सिर्फ महाराष्ट्र को कमजोर करने के लिए, शिवसेना को कमजोर करने के लिए। लेकिन शिवसेना कमजोर नहीं होगी, महाराष्ट्र कमजोर नहीं होगा। दूसरी बात, संजय राउत झुकेगा नहीं, ना पार्टी छोड़ेगा, ना शिवसेना छोड़ेगा।
जिसने पीड़े बांटे वो बाला साहब के सैनिक नहीं है।
सर पुढे है ना
जिसने पीड़े बांटे ना बाला साहब के सैनिक नहीं है। ये पीड़े बांटेंगे जब उद्धव साहब ठाकरे को ओडिशा युवा से निकलना पड़ा, उन्होंने दारू पी के गुवाहाटी में डांस करने वाले आमदार है, क्या औकात और लायकी है उनकी क्या है? उनको पूछो जिस पार्टी में तुम गए उनके नाम पे आप जीत सकते हो क्या? आज सब जीते हो आमदार, ठाकरे नाम पे जीते हैं, ओनली ठाकरे नाम। हमारी निष्ठा ठाकरे से है और किसी पार्टी से नहीं और किसी नाम से नहीं।
Staying live with Republic, we're rolling out of the streets of Mumbai, in South Mumbai, specifically where we are live from this evening outside the Enforcement Directorate office. Taking a short break, one of the other big stories we are tracking here closely is the story from Bengal, where Patra Chatterjee, a former minister in Bengal, now relieved of all his duties. So many dirty details of the cash scam emerging this evening on Sunday, getting you the full story of the Bengal cash scam and the teacher recruitment scam. Details that are emerging this evening. Stay tuned. Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
This week, watch Checkmate to know why India is buying the latest arms and ammunitions. Why is India getting the latest defense technology from the world? Why is India arming itself at such a rapid rate? But I will tell you what I believe. I believe India has global ambitions. I believe India wants to be a global leader. When India says that it wants to become a Vishwaguru, it is not just talking about intellectual pursuit. It's not just talking about soft power. India is also talking about hard power.
Odisha's Health Minister Naba Kishore Das held a review meet on monkeypox with senior officials and said that the state is taking all necessary measures in view of virus spreading while also keeping an eye on the situation in the country. Meanwhile, an expert committee for the treatment of monkeypox in Cuttack has been formed by the Health Department.
That is Christian Michelle. First visuals on your scene. Christian, would you give facts to India?
Mr. Bhandari, just one question, sir.
Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you?
Welcome back. You're watching Republic TV. The other big story we're tracking on This Is Exclusive this evening is from Bengal on the Bengal cash scam and the teacher recruitment scam, the SSC scam, whatever you call it. But we've been reporting on it and the reportage that led to the sacking of Patra Chatterjee as a minister and also TMC member. Republic TV on the ground has brought you more details this evening. We in fact spoke to a person called Shamli Banerjee who told our channel that she sold her property to Arpita/Partha Chatterjee. My colleague Piyush sends us this investigative report from the ground in Bengal. Public Media Network is reporting from the ground at Naktala, where the ancestral house of Partho Chatterjee, the veteran TMC leader who has been arrested by ED, is situated. Over here, we are trying to speak to a number of residents. A large number of residents have come out and spoken to us about him, but surprisingly, there is an anxiety, there is some amount of fear, and there is some amount of being reserved of coming on the camera and speaking about Partho Chatterjee directly. This shows that how strong Partho Chatterjee as a leader really is. Mind you, before him being arrested by Enforcement Directorate, Partho Chatterjee was second in line of being the Chief Minister. So you can understand the influence which Partho Chatterjee exerts at TMC. And even though he's now being suspended, or one can say he's been taken out from all the cabinet berths by the TMC, the fear among the local residents over here who reside very close to the ancestral house of TMC's Partho Chatterjee still remains. Mind you, this is the ancestral house of Partho Chatterjee, and not only at Nakthala, but there are several properties, Benami properties of Partho Chatterjee that have been unearthed by Enforcement Directorate. But this property of Partho Chatterjee at Nakthala holds a special significance because this is the ancestral house of the TMC leader Partho Chatterjee. If one visits over here, you can see a heavy deployment of police officials, and knowing that the amount of media attention this case has got, the police officials prevent us from entering that house. Okay, my colleague Piyush Shori is joining us live from Bengal. He's been tracking the story very closely, been reporting from the ground. Piyush, what are the facts of the case? What is this lady saying? Is it established that she gave some part of her land? Why did she give her land? And what was the price she gave her land at? And was it quid pro quo for some sort of, a favor that was perhaps done? So definitely, there was a pointed question today which we asked to Banerjee family, which right now are residing in Gurgaon area. But we just visited their ancestral home over here in Kolkata, which is in Vivekanand Park. And we asked them very pointedly that, why did they sell their land to Partho Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee, to which they did not want to reply to us, saying that, they would rather reply all these questions to the investigating authorities than to some media channel. But we were very pointed towards our questions, and we asked them that who actually approached them. Was it Partho Chatterjee or was it Arpita Mukherjee? To which again they did not want to reply, our question. Interestingly, when we asked them that, were there other leaders also involved of TMC who were in touch with them regarding the land transaction, they did not commit to it. So, there is a lot of questioning now which needs to be done regarding the land transaction, several land transactions in which, Partho Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee is involved. And, we were able to get one of the sellers of their property to Partho Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee, of which we had a word with them, But taking into consideration the amount of limelight, this entire scam has got, even those, who have sold their property to Partho Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee now are being slightly evasive in questioning, in answering our questions. So all these things are very important, and we are going to be finding out all about the land transactions which involve Partho Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. Back to you in the studio. Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. We'll take a short break right now. We're coming back with the live coverage from outside the ED office in Mumbai. More and more people, coming in. This is a different story altogether, not Bengal, from Maharashtra. Sanjay Raut has been taken into the Enforcement Directorate office. So we are live. We are live from Republic, outside the Enforcement Directorate office. We've been live since 7 a.m. this morning, and we'll continue to be live. Stay tuned for the live coverage.
Amity University has India's largest scholarship program, from which over 25,000 brilliant students have already benefited. Students with over 95% in Class 12 boards get 100% scholarship, and students with over 90% get 50% scholarship. Join brilliant, like-minded students who want to be successful. Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
में आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
After a resounding victory from Hasanpur in the 2020 Bihar elections, RJD leader Tej Pratap Yadav has decided to return to his home turf in the next assembly polls. Speaking to reporters, the Lalu Sain revealed his plans to contest the 2025 elections from the Mahua seat and promised to work towards converting the village into a district.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1.
Top headlines right now as Raut skips summons twice. ED news tightens raids on for over 9 hours at Raut residences. ED ups the ante against Raut, raids Dadar residents after Bhandu residents. Swift moves by ED, hot chase gets hotter. Raut dragged to ED office being grilled now.
तो संविधान की रक्षा के लिए जब कोई ईडी आपकी जांच करती है तो आपको मुझे लगता है कि आपने रोने का काम क्यों शुरू किया? रोने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
BJP launches scathing attack on Raut, says no party wants Raut. He should know. Give up drama and surrender. It's raining medals for India in the Birmingham. In fact, Jeremy has bagged a glorious gold for India today. India's dream run continues. Medal tally rises to 5 now. Viewers, we continue to be live and breaking on Republic TV. I am Shivangi Shakla. The top story right now, Samna editor-in-chief Sanjay Raut is currently being grilled by the Enforcement Directorate. The questioning comes amid ED raids at Raut's residence for more than 9 hours now. Meanwhile, Sanjay Raut's lawyers are pushing for next date of summon. Earlier, Raut had asked for extension of summons till August 7th. He has told ED officials that he is busy with Parliament session and vice presidential election. So he had skipped the summons and no other channel is tracking Sanjay Raut like we are. I want to go across to Niranjan, who is right there outside the ED office getting us all the top updates. Niranjan, what's happening right now? We believe that Sanjay Raut is right now being grilled. What next can we expect in the next few hours?
We are outside the Enforcement Directorate office.